What's up, you beautiful Leeds faithful? Listen up, White's Army, because I've got some absolutely insane transfer news that's going to blow your minds. We're talking about 3 massive moves that could completely transform our beloved club as we prepare for our glorious return to the Premier League. You know what? I can barely contain my excitement right now. We've got a versatile defender who's caught the eye of some huge European clubs, a Welsh wizard who's been absolutely tearing it up in the Championship and deserves his shot at glory, and a Slovenian wall who's got the big Italian clubs circling like vultures. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely buzzing. Daniel Farke isn't messing about. The gaffer knows exactly what we need to survive in the big league. And these 3 signings could be the difference between another heartbreaking relegation and finally establishing ourselves where we belong. Smash that like button. If you're ready for this roller coaster, drop a comment with your predictions and hit subscribe because you don't want to miss what's coming next. The first piece of this jigsaw puzzle involves a player who could solve our biggest defensive headache, and trust me, when you hear which massive clubs we're fighting off, you'll understand why this is absolutely crucial. Are you ready to find out which French magician could be heading to Elland Road? Here we go, White's faithful. The cat's out of the bag. Anthony Casey, the 27-year-old French sensation from Mainz, is the man who's got Daniel Farke absolutely salivating. This isn't just any ordinary transfer chase, oh no. We're talking about a defender who bagged 7 assists from the backline this season. 7. That's the kind of attacking threat from defense that had us absolutely flying in the Championship. And now we need that magic in the Premier League. But here's where it gets absolutely mental. Casey's entering the final year of his contract, which means we could snag him for a cut price fee. In today's market, that's like finding a diamond in the rough. The lad can play wing-back, full-back on either flank, or even slot into the center of defense. Talk about versatility. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true. Well, here's the catch that's got my heart racing and my nerves shredded. We're not the only ones who've spotted this gem. Fulham are sniffing around, and get this, Borussia Dortmund and Rennes are also in the hunt. This is exactly the kind of signing that separates the clubs who survive from those who crash and burn. Remember what happened with Junior Firpo's situation? We need that creativity from our fullbacks, and Casey could be the answer to our prayers. But wait, there's more drama brewing, and the next revelation is going to show you just how serious Farke is about keeping our Championship heroes together for the Premier League fight. You think Anthony Casey is exciting? Wait until you hear what's happening with our Welsh wizard. Dan James' contract shocker. The Welsh wizard stays put, emote faithful. Hold on to your seats because this next bombshell is going to make you absolutely emotional. Our beloved Dan James, the Welsh wizard who's been tearing up the Championship with 12 goals and 9 assists, is being offered a brand new 2-year deal. Can you believe it? After everything this man has given us, after single-handedly dragging us back to where we belong, the club is finally showing him the respect he deserves. This is the kind of loyalty that makes you proud to be Leeds. The timing couldn't be more perfect. With Manor Solomon heading back to Tottenham after his loan spell, we were staring down the barrel of losing our creative spark. But no, Daniel Farke and the board have learned from past mistakes. They're not letting our stars slip away this time. 10 appearances, contributing to over 20 goals. Those aren't just numbers, they're the heartbeat of our Championship triumph. This man bled white and blue every single match, and now he's getting the chance to prove himself in the Premier League where he truly belongs. But here's what's got me both excited and terrified. Other clubs have been watching. Of course they have. You don't put up those numbers without attracting vultures. The fact that we're moving this quickly to tie him down shows just how desperate the board is to keep our core together. This signing isn't just about keeping a player, it's about sending a message. We're not here to make up the numbers in the Premier League. We're here to fight, to compete, and to show everyone that Leeds United means business. But if you think that's the end of our transfer masterclass, think again. The final piece of this puzzle involves a defender so good that AC Milan, Inter Milan, and Roma are all desperate to get their hands on him. Buckle up, because this last signing could be the most important of them all. Right, Leeds faithful, this is it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Jakub Bijol, the 26-year-old Slovenian rock from Udinese, has agreed personal terms with us. Can you hear that? That's the sound of AC Milan, Inter Milan, and AS Roma crying into their pasta because we've beaten them to the punch. This is Leeds United showing the football world that we're not just back, we're back with vengeance. 16 million for a defender who's played 62 times for his country. 62 international caps. This isn't some unknown quantity. This is a man who's faced the best strikers in the world and come out on top. A man who's been the cornerstone of Udinese's defense for seasons. Let me paint you a picture of what we're getting here. 37 appearances in Serie A this season, one of the most tactical, defensively minded leagues in the world. He's been tested by Victor Osimhen, Ciro Immobile, Dusan Vlahovic, the elite strikers who make Premier League defenders wake up in cold sweats. This isn't just a signing, this is a statement that we're done being pushed around by the big boys. Remember the panic when Pascal Struijk got injured toward the end of the season? Remember how we all held our breath wondering if our defensive stability would crumble? Well, Daniel Farke has learned that lesson, and he's making sure we never face that vulnerability again. The beautiful thing about Bijol isn't just his defensive ability, it's his leadership. 62 international caps means he's been in pressure situations that would break lesser men. World Cup qualifiers, European championships, Nations League battles, he's seen it all and thrived. And here's what gets me absolutely buzzing. Slovenia punches above their weight because of players like Bijol. They don't have the resources of England or France, but they compete because they have warriors who refuse to be intimidated. That's exactly the mentality we need in the Premier League. 37 appearances for Udinese this season, helping them finish 12th in Serie A. That's mid-table Premier League experience right there. This man knows what it takes to compete at the highest level week in, week out, and now he's bringing that knowledge to Elland Road. But think about the domino effect this creates. With Bijol anchoring our defense, Joe Rodon can play with more freedom. Ethan Ampadu doesn't have to carry the entire defensive load when he's fit. We've got options, we've got depth, we've got the kind of squad rotation that keeps players fresh for 38 grueling Premier League matches. The man's even got an eye for goal. 2 goals from centre-back this season. In today's game, you need your centre-backs contributing at both ends, and Bijol delivers. Set pieces, late runs into the box, the kind of aerial presence that can nick you points when games are tight. But here's what gives me goosebumps. We're not just surviving, we're thriving. Look at this transfer window. Anthony Casey for attacking threat from defense, Dan James locked down for goals and creativity, and now Bijol as our defensive foundation. This is how you build a team that doesn't just avoid relegation. This is how you build a team that belongs in the Premier League. These aren't panic buys or desperate gambles. These are calculated, intelligent moves that show long-term planning. We're building something sustainable, something that can compete year after year, not just survive one season and hope for the best. Make some noise in the comments. Tell me which signing excites you most. Are we finally building something special? Are these the moves that keep us up and establish us as a force to be reckoned with? The Whites are back where we belong, and with signings like these, we're never leaving again. We're not just making up the numbers, we're here to compete, to fight, to show the Premier League that Leeds United is back, and we mean business. This is our time, Leeds family. This is our moment to prove that we've learned from past mistakes, that we're ready for the challenge, that we deserve to be mentioned alongside the big boys again, marching on together. What do you think, Leeds family? Are we witnessing the beginning of something truly special at Elland Road? Is this the summer that changes everything?